trailer they made that they showed on one of the Pokemon Directs. It was probably for like Pokemon Go. Now that I think about it, but it started with, hey, here's like some really high definition video of just cool landscapes, and then here's these Gen 1 sprites of the Pokemon that have been animated to like live in these worlds. And I was like, that's so fucking cool. I think that is the raddest thing ever. And then of course it was just to be like, hey, Pokemon Go, you can go places and catch these Pokemon. Like, fuck that.
Yeah.
And this game is like, what if that, but for real? And I dig that. There was also like an image that I remember on the internet a billion years ago. It was like just somebody making a desktop wallpaper, but it was this really high definition photo of a beach, but they had a Super Mario Kart Koopa Troopa that was just that sprite that was
cool.
driving on the beach, and then they had like the sand spray coming off it that they had to like Photoshop in. And I just thought it might have been Bowser, not Koopa Troopa, but it looked so fucking rad.
That's
of
awesome.
Just this mix of pixel art with super high definition photo. And then again, it reminds me of what I'm doing when I'm playing this game. And I just think it looks really, really cool.
Nice. I realized that I actually had Dungeon of the Endless in my Steam library. I don't know if that was with a bundle or if that was something that I bought. But we're going to be looking at the new one today.
Sure.
So I don't know if you got info on this.
I do.
Okay. I'm recording everything for us. If you're cool with that, I got everything going right now. We can just go from there.
Yeah, as long as you're not hearing me pop or anything now. When I recorded some stuff, I was hearing like a couple of pops, but it was generally going okay.
No, everything seems to be pretty good right now.
Cool. Well, let's stick with it then.
Let's do it then. All right. Hey, welcome to Quick Looks with the Casual Hour, where I will be taking my friend Chase Kinnicky into an endless dungeon. I hope you're ready, because there's no escape, Chase.
And I'm looking forward to watching my acquaintance, Bobby Pease, play this video game.
Ooh, an acquaintance, eh?
That's not true. You're one of my best friends.
There it is.
If not the best one. I don't know.
The bestest of friends we are. Chase, I think that you should play this game. I like it. It's a cool game. I'm going to say that right now.
All right. Well, quick look over.
Yeah,
I think we did it. Game good.
Game good. I didn't realize that I was mid-run. So you're seeing what happens when you lose.
You incinerate yourself.
I got news for y'all. You might see that a few times depending on how things go. This game is hard, but it's also got all the trappings of all right, one more run. So Endless Dungeon, Chase, I know a little bit more than you do, but I think you know some stuff. What do you know, if anything?
Yeah, I can give people the broad strokes here. Endless Dungeon is a new game from Amplitude Studios and published by Sega. It's out on almost everything. It's out on basically everything since October 19th. They have announced that there will be a Switch version, but that is to be determined right now on when that's coming out.
Okay.
For everything else, PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, it is out right now. You are playing, I assume, the Steam version?
Yeah, playing this on PC.
Nice. So that's kind of what I know, but I don't really know what Endless Dungeon is. Like, it's not a dungeon crawler. You kind of said like it's tower defense-y?
Yeah, so like off the cuff, this is a run-based roguelike game that you are going through multiple layers of this tower we're in with hero shooters that all build turrets that you can upgrade to deal with hordes while you're slowly moving a crystal to an end state of that progression. And in that, you'll find keys that you can use to unlock more parts of this headquarters that we're looking at right now. And with that, you'll find quests tied to each specific one of the characters that you can unlock to unlock further abilities of theirs. In here, this is your saloon. This is going to be your hub. You've got different entry points into this tower that you're finding ways into, kind of hacking into. So I think you start with maybe the Astral Harbor. I think that's the first one.
Is that like a Splunky thing where it's like I'm cutting the line and going further in earlier?
I think it's actually like a whole new. Yeah. So like if I come back up to this guy here, this is the actual map of it, and you can see that there are different floors that you can go into. And so while I guess in theory you might be going to a different floor, I think that the whole idea here is that you're working your way up to the first floor, and I'm sorry, to the core. You start at the first one, you're going down to the core. And so based off of that, like I might, let's see here, that's the Transcendence Center, Life Incubator, Security Vault, Procedural Factory. So that's floor 2. I guess I would be going down to a different floor on this one if I do start the labor colony. So yeah,
So
maybe you do a little bit.
Yeah, the thing with that in Spelunky is that if you, like, yes, it gets you closer to the end faster, but also part of playing Spelunky and playing it from the beginning is getting all the tools as you go through a run. So it was kind of this risk reward of, yeah, I don't have to potentially take the damage that I might take from, you know, the caves area, but also I'm getting, you know, a handful of items. Maybe I get a jetpack in that first area, and then that's going to help me get through the rest of the game.
There is one thing you can look at for starting your runs. I'll show that before we hop out. I hadn't known this was going to happen. Fossey has joined the crew. He's been here the whole time. He's been the bartender at the saloon, but we finally got to the headquarters, and I guess that was the unlock state for this character. So now he's a playable character, and you'll see how that plays out.
Is he going to get the enemies drunk?
I would hope so. This kiosk chase, this is one thing that you can use here. So I could pay for one of these chests that will be rightly available when we start our run. I don't know what's going to be in it. It's kind of this is not an in-game. I'm sorry. This is an in-game currency. This is not an external currency that you use to buy these to go on your run. But I have earned scraps on my run to where I could buy a chest to get something. So just for the sake of this quick look, let's do a uncommon chest. And so now we're going to start. We'll do the Astral Harbor. And here's what you
said, you've had an uncommon chest, Bobby.
Ah, yes. So we just saw Fossey. I think that's how you say his name. He looks to be more, I would say he's more rounded out. Lower attack, but pretty good toughness and support. Where you might have Shroom, who is very tough and Index is heavy on support. This is like Sweeper's the first character you start with. They are really gained to be more support. They're not very strong at all. And then you also have Zed, who's available. Zed, very much a shooter. Sure. And then Bunker. Bunker is probably who I have gravitated to the most because I think this game's hard, and Bunker's been pretty tough. They start with more of a shotgun, which I don't like, but you can change that on the fly. And then everybody else is who I've unlocked so far. So Shroom was the first character I unlocked. They feel like more of a healer. Cardi is really fun. They've got this big-ass Gatling gun, little bug creature. Blaze is your traditional, just like cold as ice shooter. Funny enough, they have to deal with fire. And then we just got Fossey. So I'm going to put Sweeper in the mix, and let's take Fossey with us just to check some things out there. And I have not unlocked the third spot here, which is done by buying a thing at the gunsmith. And we'll show that when we get back from a run. So when we first get down here, it's going to be pretty quiet. You're going to see a lot of locked doors, and that's the big gimmick. You run a lot of risk reward with these doors down here. It is kind of a twin stick shooter in a way. I like to play this with a controller. Mouse and keyboard is fine. Here's that chest we purchased. Let's see what we get from it. Oh, I see a gun. What's this one do? 50% shove damage when no other hero in room. Okay. And then a handgun with torchlight, short cone of light damage. Ooh, I think if this is what I think it is, yes, fuck yes, this gun rules. Okay. And I can switch over to a different weapon here, and you'll see that this is more like just shooting a traditional gun. Sure. This one just does this like cone of light. Yeah, it's like so
short range, but
yes, it's so good.
Damage. Yeah.
And I can switch over. Oh, that was sorry. My my special, which it's nice, but now I can also take care of Fossey. They've got a very similar gun to what I start off with as well. Okay,
and that just switches on the fly.
Yeah, that's a shoulder button that I can go back and forth to.
When you're not directly controlling them, I assume there's some kind of AI
There is. So that was me teleporting. I think it's just down, or what is it on here? I know it's space bar on this. Hang on a second. There's a way. I haven't been playing with controller a ton. Let me see one thing here. Shoot, use, order. There we go. There we go. So I can tell him what to do.
Okay.
So I can have him stop following me and to stay back. Like if I wanted him to be with the crystal right now, I could do that. And that would be cool. Like if he wasn't in the room with me. This is the crystal. I can move, and you'll see that here in a second. But let's open up some doors. You're going to see these around. This is where you build your turrets. I probably should just go ahead and put one back here in case something triggers. And that's how quickly that goes up. So that's just a standard combustion turret. It can get destroyed, but it will start over at the end of a wave.
Okay.
All right, so we're going into our first room. And here we've got a generator. So these are important. This is what's going to give us your currency. These each unlock new abilities. The one that we're going to focus on right now is going to be in the industry production, because that's going to get me a currency that I can use to increase adding more turrets in. Now, the enemies will attack this. So I'm going to go ahead and put another turret in here just to help out. And I have a door, but I don't want to open something this close to a vulnerability potentially. So I'm going to hold back on that for now and see what we can find in here. This is a med kit dispenser. We can come back to that if we need to. And our first nest.
Yeah, that gun seems to be effective.
Yeah. Now, the thing is when I come up to this, so their weakness is going to be electricity, and the gun that I'm using is more of a light, which is their elemental power. So I'm not really using anything super effective against them. However, this is now our first area that will be spawning with enemy types. So I know I've got a short distance to the generator into the crystal. I will probably go ahead and throw up another turret here. And if I've got the resources, I'll put one there. So now if they do start to get through, we're not in a huge or a poor situation where that would be a problem for us. Now, I did mention that they're going to be weak to electricity. I'm going to switch my gun over to my stock one and pick that up. And I'll switch back over now to Fossey, and I will grab that. So he's got two guns as well now. So he had my old gun, and let's move forward. This is another generator I could build, which is not a bad idea, but it is really close to this enemy type. So I'm going to hold off for now and see what we can get. More enemies in here. And you can see that electrical does way more damage on them with direct hits, which we've got two of the same type now. So I'll put one more turret here. And this is the upgrade. So we'll come back to that after that. So right now, we've got a wave starting in 9. They're going to be going directly towards that generator and to our crystal. I'm going to teleport right back to the crystal just by holding up on the D-pad. And now we're in a spot to deal with the wave in a little bit more of a confined area. So they're not going to be coming this way, but they will be coming through here.
So that wave is triggered on a time.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep. Now there's things I could do to trigger the wave if I wanted to, but I'm gonna let that one run for the time being. We'll probably see it happen on this run. Like I'll do something to trigger it just to show you what that looks like.
And that timer only starts once you've discovered that area.
What do you mean?
Like you said, hey, there are doors that you're not opening because you don't.
Oh yeah, well, like
enemies. So now that you've discovered, hey, here's a place where enemies spawn, they're going to start spawning.
I've had it happen without that too. I think there's just like a timer happening. I don't know exactly where that's at because I'm looking at the top. That's the health of that little icon in the center of the screen. Mm-hmm. That's the health of your crystal. But I do believe that there's just an ongoing timer. But there's things that will proc that faster for sure.
I see.
This here is the research terminal. You're going to find these. These are really important. This is where you get your new upgrades for your turrets. So this one here is an EMP blast. That's going to be very helpful, especially against the enemy types that we just had. Now, me researching is going to trigger that. So if I we're in an okay spot still, though. I mean, with everything we have going on. So I'll hang out here and just take these out. This will be a quick rundown of the wave between all of us. Fosse's shooting very well compared to some of the other ones. They're a very good partner.
It also looks like your turret recouped some of its health between waves.
Yes, it'll heal back up. And the other thing that one, because it's in a hot spot, so depending on where you place them, it'll automatically get to a spot where it can level up. And I'll show you that here in just a second.
Oh, so even when it's destroyed, when it's quote unquote destroyed, it's not gone.
No, it'll come back.
Deactivated.
Yep.
Okay.
So I could replace this now, which I'm going to, and I'll leave that one sit because that one's been doing pretty good. I will come over here though and replace this one. This is going to be that EMP blast, so it's going to do damage directly against this type, which will be awesome. So now we've got a better turret for that enemy type that we're against, and then the shop. So here you can buy upgraded weapons if you want to, or you can buy these little buffs that you can apply. I don't have enough currency to do it, so I could.
Can you explain the currencies? Like I see 3 currencies there in the top right corner, but what are they actually for?
Yeah, so they're going to be just exactly what we're looking at here. So they're going to be producing materials that you need to do certain things. So like this material here is going to be for upgrades for your character or your weapons, which is going to be, this is the science one, I believe is what this is.
That's the top one there in the top right?
Yep, so I only have 7. So these here require 23 and 26. I'm not producing anything from a generator standpoint for that currency. And then beneath it, I'll have to look these up. I don't remember exactly what the breakdown is on that. There might be glossary. Let's see here.
The gear, didn't that was like the industry thing that you
It
had
is. I know that one's industry for sure. And I know that goes directly into your turrets.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember what the least
one. That was food production. I saw somewhere else.
Yes. So I'm trying to remember what that goes for. I haven't. That's the one I used the least, as you can see. I'm trying to remember exactly what that did. Industry I know goes into our turrets. Science goes into our weapons, and I think maybe industry goes into you. I don't know what you would be upgrading on the run though. I'll have to double see. I'll double check on that one. So as I mentioned, we do have this spot back here that I could have turned into a generator. And so if I come over here to this one now, I can start to produce what we would need. And I will go ahead and throw a EMP on this. So now I've got this guy doing combustion damage, and I've got this doing EMP, I think.
And that production is also on some sort of timer?
What do you mean?
Like the generator.
Oh yeah, with waves. Okay. That's procedurally doing stuff with the waves that are coming through.
Cool.
So now I don't have. I mean, I'll be getting more with. Oh, I'm sorry. With doors opening, you get that when you open up doors, I believe. A lot of systems here. Okay.
Yeah.
So I've got the red rooms are where we have nest spawning, and I guess the next spot would be down this way. So if we come over here, we'll open this up, and that should let us get into a newer area. This is going to be upgrade. Yeah, here we go. This is for your upgrades here. So you can see I can get, this one's going to be cow catcher. That's for my shove damage. I also have unforgivable, which is my fire rate. And then that's the one we're going to grab. So I've upgraded my hero using that currency on the run. So that's what it's going to, food is going to be for you. Science is for your weapons. And the industry is for your turrets. And you can see I've opened up 2 doors. And those doors opening have gotten us up to 23 now for the science. And
when you say your character, it's just each character is individual. Like Fosse did not get that bonus. Okay.
Correct.
You could switch to him and then take that bonus.
Yeah, like I could come back over here and I want Fosse to have more shove damage. So if I switch over here, I don't have enough currency to do it now, but he has his own upgrades.
Now, with your guy, even if you and Fosse use the same gun, his attack level was higher than yours.
Yes.
Is he just going to naturally do more damage even with the same guns?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Going to be putting out more there for sure. Oh, so that generator's already being attacked by these guys in there. So I'm going to keep a better watch on that one. Should probably put another turret right here. And you can put those out on the fly, which is great. They're going to... You can do things during a wave. You don't have to always prepare before it, but you kind of get a little scatterbrain when that's going on. We've done a good job of protecting most of what we have on this so far. All right, let's head back down here. We're looking for a specific door. Once we find that door, we can trigger a move with the crystal, and then that'll be how you end a floor and progress to the next one.
Okay. Do your AI guys, do they know how to switch weapons, or do you have to tell them to switch a weapon?
So I typically have to tell them. I haven't seen them intelligently like, oh, okay, this enemy type uses this here. We're gonna switch to that. It's been a little bit different than what I would play.
Because like right now, I think you have Fossey with 2 of the exact same weapon.
Yeah, correct. So it doesn't matter much for him. Right. Now here, there could be something like, better.
Man, if he does more damage, maybe you give him the cone weapon.
No, I don't think there's a way for me to switch to that right now. I'd have to.
You'd have to find a weapon on the ground to switch him out. Okay.
Yep. All right, we're opening doors. We got quite a bit of currency built up, so I can get back to a good state with that. Let's see here. Maybe we'll get. So we just found 2 more nests also, which is not great. There we go. There's a bow.
But so the nests only matter if the waves happen. So there's kind of like a speed aspect to this too. Of like, man, if I could just find the next place to get out of here.
Correct.
You know, maybe we open a bunch of doors and get a little desperate, but we can find a way out.
I'm in my like point now where I feel very much like I'm ready to get out of here, and that's the door right there. So, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up one more turret out here. Actually, I need to set some right here. I forgot. So we're going to put an EMP there. Fuck! And I will put one here for that. And I know I'll need one here. And let's get back to this guy. And then we're going to go and get out of here, and we'll wrap that up. I'll show a few things off at the saloon from this run, and then that'll be that. All right. Yeah, I there's a little confusion I had on what some of the currencies do, but I think that's been cleared up, and we know which each one are doing, and it all comes together in the way it should. Where are they at right now? All right, there they are. Yeah. Leave our generator alone. Because that's the one thing. Like, once the generator's toast, like, it's toast. Everything else they break will come back, but the generator and the crystal do not.
Does that matter too much if you're just about to leave here, or does that generator still kind of come with you for the next?
From what I've seen, it comes with, like, you need to set up new ones. So I think that once we get out of here, we're good. So I don't really give too. Oh, we can upgrade this guy now. There we go. So you just hit it with a melee attack, and it levels up, which is great. Are they at the crystal? Oh, shit.
Let's see, you have your ultimate ready.
Yes. I will use that. I haven't had to like get too spicy with some of these things. So we can definitely do that. Let's open this up. And I think we were back here, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. All right. So we're going to do this. That's going to trigger. And now this guy's going to actually come up out of the ground. And we're going to have to hang out with him as we move towards that door. So this is more of an escort mission now.
I see.
There'll be other things that you can pull the crystal out to do. Like, you might find this like hole in the floor or a dent, and it can dig up a resource for you. But then it's kind of out and about, hanging out until you can find another spot for it to go. Because as you're going through these, you might find, okay, there's another like nesting hole for it closer to where you need it to be. So you can just upgrade its location and go from there. All right. Oh, shit. Not good. Not good. Lot of chaos when you have these moves happen.
Yeah.
And there's my special ability that will slow everybody down.
Nice. Okay.
That way I can hold them back. So everybody's got like their own unique ability there. Sweeper has this like soap effect that just like creates friction. And it's awesome for exactly what you just saw, to create kind of a temporary choke point, which has allowed me to really take back control over what was happening there.
Yeah, and you're also kind of creating a choke point here.
Yep, and I just put up another EMP turret there. That's going to help me quite a bit while it's opening up that door for us. So you get some really cool strategic elements too. Like it is a lot of reaction, but there is some strategy on like what doors you want to open, what you want to be able to, like to your point, do I want to be fast? Do I want to be methodical? Do I want to look for resources? How much time do I want to spend down here? I think there's a lot of really interesting ways that you can approach it. And especially like I've only had 2 people on all these. I haven't even unlocked the 3rd yet, which I imagine will change it up quite a bit.
Sure.
Boom.
Would you say that's about typical for the size of one of these levels, or is this being like the starting area?
Oh, that's from what I've seen, like
small?
that's pretty on par.
Okay.
So what would happen now is you're in the second part. We're not going to do this one. Similar vibe. You're going to move everything around, and then at the end of this, you will then go up to a new level. So to clear a floor, there's 2 sections you go into traditionally. All right, I'm going to get us back into the. Hang on a second. Where's it at?
Are there ways to refund turrets? Like, oh, I put this turret down here. I don't want this here anymore.
So if I build this one here, I can go into a replace, and there I can replace for 1 industry point if I wanted to.
It still does cost something.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
But I could switch it over to the EMP if I wanted to do. So I mean, we're going to quit anyway, so I'll just do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you have the gears to do it, you can do that for sure. All right, let me head back to the saloon. I'll do just one more quick overview of a few like upgrade areas that I did not showcase with you, and then we can wrap up and get out of here.
Cool. So yeah, you have a limited amount of resources within any one floor. So even if you do put a turret down and have to replace it or change it out, that's going into that limited pool of resources like you have.
Yep. So it really depends.
About something like Risk of Rain, where it's, hey, I can kind of just grind on this area for a really long time and get a bunch of items and then go to the next place. And that game has like a different risk reward of, hey, the more time you take, the more fucked things get. But this one is, you could stay down here and wring every last thing you can find out of this place. But 1, you have a time limit of these waves keep happening, and 2, you only have so many resources to protect yourself.
Absolutely. So
okay.
I like that element of it quite a bit. Like it has a procedural movement to it. Like you're moving forward quite a bit. All right, back in the saloon, there's a few things I just wanted to show off really quick. You're going to find memorabilia and other things that you can use from a lore standpoint. If you find enough when you're on your runs, you might find some books or pages. They come up here to the asset library, and you can add in little mementos and things like that, and then come in here to get more insight to what the fuck's been going on. Endless in itself is a whole thing. There's probably, these characters probably have a lot more reverence than what it's wasted on me, because I'm just not familiar with the world that they've built in Endless.
Yeah, this is like a franchise.
Yeah. So for me, like, I'm just having a good time playing this style of game, but there might be people out there that are like, oh shit, that's Cardi. Cardi's fucking awesome because of X, Y, or Z. And again, like Cardi was somebody that was here the whole time. I did something, they're now part, like a playable character. I found enough resources, I believe is what it was for them.
So then you already know who that last character that you haven't unlocked is going to be?
I'm thinking it might be the stranger, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, they had like some, like the silhouette had like a headdressy kind of thing or something, like an antenna or something behind them.
They do have, so if I come over here, this is Shroom. Where'd they go? There we go. Sweeper. So I can also change, like, I did a pre-order for this, so I got a couple of extra skins, but you can unlock new skins for them. and see some differences there.
Are there any permanent upgrades in like a Rogue Legacy or like a Hades
Yep.
style?
So if you come over here to the workshop, there's a few things that you can do. So you've got your crystal and you've got your heroes. I have not completed the quest yet for Cardi. I have completed that for Sweeper. So I could come in here, and I've already added this in. They have a 30% efficiency on their active skill that I've added. So I can unequip this, but I also have these cells that you gather, and that's what you use to add that into this spot here. So I have not unlocked the other slots beneath Sweeper, but I'm basically doing their individual story quest to open more available spaces that I could use this persistent gathered cells currency to unlock these abilities here. So if I wanted to increase his attack damage, I could, which I probably am going to. So now I can I'll unequip that one, and I'll equip that for the time being. And then again, when I unlock another spot for Sweeper, I'll throw that one on there. So those are some like persistent things. For the saloon, these are other ones that I can unlock. Where's the standing room only? So I'm trying to get up to 1600,
right,
and that'll be my third one. So these are like unlockable things that I can do. This one here unlocks monsters information, repairs the drum kit on stage. I think that will probably get me another character because there's some stuff there on the stage for it. And then weapons. So if I come over here, trying to find that one that we had that we liked a whole lot. I think it was not the ray gun.
Your torchlight?
Yeah. So I could grab this one and I could add into it defense when equipped, which is awesome. So now when I get this gun, if I find it out there, it's automatically giving me 20% more defense, which is awesome.
So you can't find a way to start with it other than hoping that you get it from that chest.
Or another yeah.
Once you do have it, you can have these upgrades on it automatically.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'll go ahead and throw this one on here too. So that one's ready to go.
So one thing we haven't mentioned, co-op, multiplayer.
Yes.
It
has it. You can have up to 3 people on a run. So everybody can have their own hero. You're all doing, which I think would honestly make this game so much better because then I don't have to worry about, like, I could be like, hey, there's a wave coming. I know I'm responsible for this generator. I'm going to protect this generator. Chase, you got the crystal. Like, I could see that being really fun. Having like,
yeah, you don't have to go and switch out the weapons for Fosse because I'm playing as Fosse and I can switch out my own weapons, and we don't have to stick together on these places, or you don't have to tell me to stand somewhere, or you don't have to input that I need to stand somewhere. You can just say, Chase, stand over there.
Yep.
Do you know if in the co-op multiplayer, do you have to have the standing room only unlocked before you can play the 3-player, or is that only for I can play with these other AI guys?
I think that would have to be tied like to my personal playthrough because I'm controlling the 3 people that go out there. But I think if we were playing, it's up to 3 people in co-op. I think that would just kind of be there for a run.
I would hope so. I mean, I've seen games do that where it's, hey, we're not going to let you do this until you've unlocked it because we kind of want you to go through the pseudo tutorial of the game before you really get into the multiplayer stuff. But at the same time, like if we had, say, I don't know, a podcast of 3 people who wanted to all play this game together, and
pray tell,
and it's like, hey, we just want to load this game up for a stream or something and then play it. I just want to make sure that we would be able to do that without.
I almost assuredly think that would be it. And honestly, man, like, I think this would be a perfect stream game. I really do. Like, it's gotta, like, we could be ranting and going through it like we are right now, and then the runs. I just think this would be a fucking blast to play with you guys. Like, I've really enjoyed my time with it solo. I can only imagine it would be much better as a crew, but I don't think it has crossplay. That was the other thing I was going to call out. I don't know if that's in the works for them for this. They did a bunch of like early access beta testing for people if they bought the $40. We didn't talk about the price, but I think that the game's $40. I think there was like it's 30 or 40.
It's $30 for the standard edition, but it does have a Last Wish extra edition that costs $40.
That's the one that I got because it got you access to the game a few days early, and it got you some of these hero skins that you're seeing. But again, it was more like, hey, $10 gets me a little bit extra content. I'm going to do that
Yeah.
for sure.
And if you do just want to buy the standard version and then decide, oh, I want that extra stuff, you can upgrade for $10.49. So you have to pay a little 50% or 50, not 50%, 50 cent upcharge to get the DLC later or get the extra content later. There's also a $7 soundtrack if you like that.
The soundtrack's very good, by the way. I have checked that out. It came with it, and I clicked through it, and I was like, oh, this is good video game music. I thought I'd just show you the headquarters as we're getting out of here. It's a different vibe completely. So anyway, Chase, you mentioned that we were.
By the
What's
way,
up?
I have accidentally seen what the last character unlock looks like, and I think they look pretty cool. I have not
Oh.
seen them on this run yet.
Okay.
But
All right.
just seeing this photo on the Steam page, I'm like, that looks like a pretty cool hero.
Nice. And I would imagine that they might add more in as time goes with this. But I could be wrong. Chase, you mentioned it. We are a podcast. There's 3 of us. Johnny, our other co-host, is not here this morning, but we are live in a lot of places. And I haven't updated all of the links for it, but we're live on YouTube. We're live on Twitch, and we're live on Kick if you want to see us play games like this, as you mentioned, on Mondays and Fridays at 9 p.m. Central. But if you are on YouTube, you probably see a few quick looks on top of some of those prior streams. I would recommend liking and subscribing because we do this stuff a lot and we have a lot of fun doing it, and we do it for you all. So we want to make sure that you're getting what you need. And as I mentioned, you can find us in even more places these days. While we're live, we record our podcast Wednesdays right there on all 3 platforms, and we publish that to every platform you could ever want to listen to a podcast on every Friday morning. So if you want to hang out with us, plenty of reasons to do so. We would love to have you. We'll be back with more quick looks right here on YouTube. Tune in where you can. Take care.